What's going on, people? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? What's up, everybody? We are live right now. We are live. Bear with me while I get my bearings. I just want everybody to come in. I hope y'all having a good weekend. I hope y'all doing great. Um, I am excited. I'm excited about tonight. I'm excited about what we getting ready to go over. And I just wanted to, tell each and every one of you who attend, thank you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get my Instagram together here. Bear with me 1 second. We're gonna go live right now on Instagram. Yeah, we live right now. We live. I'm just doing a test real quick. Finger. Let's see. Camera. We are using the right camera. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm gonna give everybody just a couple of minutes to get in. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna go on Facebook here and just kind of let people know we live right now. Get a gist of everything. We are live. Okay, post that. Cool. All right, we live. All right. Okay, so let me gather all my materials real quick. Again, I'm just letting people come in. Well, once we get to the 5 minute mark, we're just gonna go ahead and present everything that I have for you today. Again, I'm very excited about what we're getting into. This is something that I'm passionate about, and I just want to help people. So, that's what we're gonna do. And actually, let me move this over here so that I can have it available. All right, couple more minutes. We're gonna let people get in. You're gonna see who joins us. By the way, how y'all doing, man? How's your weekend going? How's everybody doing? Is everybody good? Good. I want everybody to be good. Again, I'm like I said, I'm just on here trying to make sure people are doing well. Forgive me if I'm looking around. I'm supposed to bear with me 1 second. I have to grab a stand. We got 1 minute. I'm gonna just see if people are gonna come in. So let me do that real quick. Let's see. Yes, it's just gonna put this here. Bear with me, guys, 1 second. Okay, we are at the 7:05 mark. I'm just gonna go here on TikTok real quick, get that together. And I want to make sure everybody can hear me. So, all right, we're gonna go live on TikTok. Okay, we are live on TikTok. We are live on TikTok. All right. What's up, TikTok? We are live on TikTok. Just introducing myself here. We're gonna click here. All right, we got some viewers coming in. It's great. All right, before we get into it, I just want to introduce myself. My name, for 1 second, please. Close the door. I had to close this door because I have a 4-year-old that is active. He will come in here and just take over the live. So my name is Jason Gray. I go by the name of Gray Storm. I am a producer. I've been doing music for 20 years. I've been in the creative space with podcasters, curators, and music sound design for like the last 11 years. I've done things such as McDonald's commercials, all the way to producing albums, to making snippets for people with YouTube channels that serve special needs kids. I've pretty much done a little bit of everything, even some film here and there. I'm here tonight to help you guys discover ways of benefiting your signature sound when you do your own curation, your own podcasts and whatnot, because sometimes these music libraries are not really beneficial to you. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. I'm going to make my screen present here. And let's see, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, window. Okay, bear with me one moment here while I do this. All right, there we go. All right, we're going to share the screen. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so I want to talk to you about the, oh, I apologize about that. Got to start that over. Let me start that over real quick. Technical difficulties. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. Yeah. Now we got it. Add to the stage. Okay. Now we back. All right. So I want to talk to you guys about the hidden cost of do-it-yourself music. For those that don't know what that is, DIY is basically like if you're the curator, you know what I'm saying? If you're a person that's doing a podcast, if you're doing something like a YouTube, or even if a music supervisor, you're looking for something, sometimes you left to do it yourself. Sometimes you left to just find things yourself. Well, I'm here to tell you, like, that's not really the way. That's not what we're doing right now. We are focused on, and let me get TikTok in here so TikTok can see what I'm doing. Bear with me here. I'm gonna flip the screen for TikTok. All right, we're gonna flip the camera. All right. So if my TikTokers can see that, just let me know in the comments if you see that. So kind of zoom out a little bit. There we go. All right. So the main thing is why doing it yourself is actually killing your growth. So, the main thing is like time. As we all know, time is currency, especially when you're doing something like music curation or anything like that. The number one thing you want to do is get into what you're doing. You don't want to have to always be looking for something or looking for music. So what we're going to focus on is we're going to see what the really what the cost is and why it's just messing with your creativity. So this is pretty much the uncomfortable truth. Doing it yourself feels cheaper, but it's really not. And the reason I say that is you think you're saving money, but you're actually losing a lot more valuable. See, the thing that's more valuable, especially as a creator, is your energy and your time. You want to put time into making a valuable contribution to the genre, what are you trying to do, or who you're trying to serve. If you're too busy focusing on one technical aspect of it, it's going to suck the energy out of what you're doing, and people will miss the mark. So an example is like the hours that you lose weekly. You spend all this time doing stuff for music or trying to get it mixed or trying to go to the studio, and you're literally losing time. Your growth, I mean, that's self-explanatory. I mean, part of doing something, like even what I'm doing, part of doing something is a learning experience. You have to grow as you go. And when you're too focused on doing it yourself, it's going to stunt your growth. Your authority is damaged. You only have a little bit of time and a little bit of energy to make sure your authority means what it means something. So you have to focus on like your brand. That's part of your brand. That's part of what you're trying to do. So, you have to do that. So let's see. And I'm trying to see, what camera am I? I'm on the right camera. Okay, cool. All right. So the next thing is what we're going to go over tonight. So tonight you're going to discover a couple simple things: the hidden time traps, sneaky ways that DIY music is stealing your productive hours. You're going to discover like the blockers, like why the free makeshift tracks keep you from getting the results you want. You're also going to discover the professional edge, how pro snippets and save hours and amplify your brain instantly. So let's get into that. So let's talk about the hidden time traps. So literally every hour you spend on DIY music, meaning if you're literally trying to put a snippet together, if you're trying to stretch out some strings, if you're trying to figure out how to get a vocal on, or try to stretch it out, or even figure it out yourself, or even if you're a novice, it's just going to take too much time. The issue with music, and even for me, it's like it's very drawing. It draws energy, it draws time. Typically, when a person does music, I'd say that person just does music. Now, I'm not saying you can do other things, but just understand that if you're trying to do music beyond a hobby level, it's going to require a lot of your time and energy to make it good. The issue is that if you're not really about that and you do it, it's going to pull you away from what you're trying to do. And I know we have music lovers, but at the same time, if you're a creator, you got to be able to stretch your time. So when you do that, that's an hour you're not spending on your content. That's an hour that you're not spending on that's an hour that you're not spending on doing what you're trying to do. You don't want to do that. So, and you could also be trying to work on your business, making money, or building your audience. You're not going to be able to do that. So here's the time trap number one, the search spiral. This is one of the time traps that happen that honestly I've gotten caught in. You start looking for that perfect track, and suddenly it's 3 hours later. You literally listen to like 50 options and save dozens, but still haven't made a decision. And it's literally 3 to 5 hours per music search each session. Now imagine that every week. 3, 6. Now you've wasted almost like days just looking for music. So it's not ideal to do that, especially with the libraries. You want to be able to have a quick solution. So time trap number 2 is the edit marathon. So let's say you finally discover something. All you have is one file. You have to figure out what to do with that. You got to figure out what a loop is. You got to figure out what a stinger is. And I'm throwing these terms at you because these things are real. I'm not doing it to like make it feel daunting, but it's like, what's a stinger? What's a bumper? You have to have a stinger is a small piece of music that is used as a transition. The perfect example is and I'm giving my age away right now. The perfect example is when you used to watch Family Matters, or like, one of the shows like, TGIF or something. And then right before it comes on, it's like, dun dun dun. That's a bumper. It's like, oh, the show's about to start. Musical signals or musical cues to give the audience an emotional signal of what's happening, and that's what I mean by when I say audio branding. You want emotional cues to tell your audience what's getting ready to happen. I'm getting ready to have a positive speech, so I got some inspirational music playing. I'm getting ready to turn it up, so I got energetic music playing. I'm getting ready to do like a little ad, so I have like some kind of corporate sounding music. You want everything to represent you from the front to the back, from your visuals to your brand to your sound. But even in a TV show, they have to have musical elements to push the emotions forward. So now a bumper a stinger, rather, is something like the example, like if you watch the introduction of a TV show and you know, play the music, and at the end it's do 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 ba ba da like that. That's a stinger, because what happens is it gives you the emotive like representation of the end, or I just want to bring you into something. Now it's over. So, but you have to make those. They don't make those. They make you a nice little song, and you got to do all the editing, chopping, all of that. That's not ideal. So if we look here, cut and fade and repeat, even when you find a track, you're spending hours trying to edit it perfectly, cutting the intros, creating fades, and you try to match energy levels to the content. That's not ideal. So in addition to those 5 hours I was talking about, you got another 2 hours. So let's go to the next one. Consistency struggle. The consistency struggle. So this is even worse because each episode sounds different. And this is what I was talking about before. You have to be who you are 100% of the time, every single time. It is very hard to be consistent at representing yourself. Repetition is not only key, repetition is critical. If I'm going to be making music, I got to make the same music. If I'm going to be rapping the same stuff, I don't care, and I'm just talking real. Like, I'm not here to bash who represents what. If you're doing a ratchet, drill, rap, whatever, and you're a real artist, you got to stay. You can't worry about somebody saying you need to rap about this and that. Like, you have to stay who you are. And that's why you need to be cognizant of what lane you get in. If you get in that lane and you switch, nobody's going to take you serious. It's going to take a long time to bounce back. And that's not just rap music, country music. That's not in general. Even with a podcast, even with a YouTube channel, consistency is important. And when you're going through these libraries, it's very difficult to find something that's the continuity of something to keep it the same. It's just not possible. Each episode sounds different. You're constantly starting over, trying to match the vibe of the previous content, but never quite getting there. And then the time is infinite. You just infinite time lost on inconsistent branding. You're just losing a lot of time. So we're going to go to the next one. Why you're not getting results. The free and makeshift tracks, they're sabotaging you. Here's how an amateur audio is keeping your audience from taking you serious. So, result killer number one. I'm not laughing. It's just, it's facts. Amateur sound is an amateur brand. If you got something from a rinky-dink library that sounds like somebody used MIDI, a Casio MIDI keyboard, and they're making something that they're trying to sound like John Williams, or you literally know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a song that sounds like Jurassic Park, or they're trying to make something that sounds like The Matrix. Like, they're literally like making cheap, generic music. That's going to make your brand cheap or generic. You're like, man, I heard that the other day. Or not even I heard that the other day. I've heard that somewhere before. Like, are they trying to copy like they doing, or are they trying to do a Cardi B song? Like, or are they trying to do a rap song or something from somebody? That sounds familiar. You don't want that. You don't want to sound like somebody else, or even sound like you're trying to sound somebody else, or even sound remotely like you don't know what you're doing. Some of these libraries don't have good music. So you don't want that. Your audience literally decides in the first 30 seconds if your content is worth their time. So cheap, generic music immediately signals amateur, even if your content is incredible. You gotta have everything unanimous. It's gotta be cohesive. So the killer too. This is another reason why you're not making it. Inconsistent experience. So the audio roller coaster. When every episode sounds different, your audience cannot build a relationship with your brand. They don't recognize you instantly, and they don't develop that binge-worthy addiction. Again, I'll go back to the TGIF example. Every Friday, the same thing. We used to get pepperoni pizza, green peppers, onions, medium, 7 o'clock on the dot. Every Friday, the first show come on. What happens is the same thing, the same intro, the same outro, and the same vibe, the same comedic timing. Everything is locked in. Like the only reason that we liked the TGIF, and for you folks that's younger, look it up. It was the move, it was the sauce. It was crazy. Everything just came with that same level. Even if they did new branding, it was on par with the brand. Everything it was hip, it was funky, and it was for the your younger crowd to enjoy television. Because back then, Disney Plus, all that wasn't relevant. It was just regular TV. So they had to have a 2 hour segment designed from top to bottom to entertain and be marketed towards youth between the age of 13 and like 18. It was nothing but kids watching that stuff. So they literally had kids on the commercials, but they had to have their brand locked in. All the music sounded the same. You know, it was that like kind of up tempo, like jazz fusion with hip hop. There was no deviation. So if that worked then, it works now. Even when you watch your favorite TV show on Netflix, it's the same thing. So that's just what it is. So the audio roller coaster, when every episode sounds different, your audience can't build a relationship. Yeah, I read that. So you need to be able to do that. So that's another reason why it's not working. So the next thing is the energy mismatch. So we got the wrong vibe, wrong audience. A lot of this happens with people, and unfortunately, it's just when you operating out of like desperation mode, and you operating out of like, oh, I want this to work. You know, I need this to pop. I need this to snap. You got to think it through. You have to really research and understand what your brand means, because the energy mismatch is bad. The generic tracks don't match your energy or message. They just not. Your intro might be energetic while your content is calm. And that's going to confuse your audience about what to expect. So like when you're really excited and you hear, oh, this sounds great. Just understand when you get something that sounds great, it may not be ideal for your audience. You might like how it sounds, but you don't want to do something that you like. You want to do something that matches. So your ears have to change from what sounds good to what matches. Like if you could change your mind into what things sound like, what does my brand sound like? Does it sound this way or sound that way? Yeah, I know it's hard because your ears are used to things that you like to hear, but you have to change your view from subjective to objective. And honestly, that's one of the biggest things in music, especially as an engineer, producer. You have to have that ability to switch from subjective to objective. And for those of you that just like, what is it? Subjective is basically like, the way something makes you feel, or the way something sounds to you, or the way something makes you, the way something makes you, what it makes you want to do. As subjective. Objective is not about what it is pertaining to you. Objective is more like what the purpose of it is. Think about what it's doing. Think about what I want from this thing. What's the issue with this piece of music? Does it sound like what I want for my brand? Does it sound like something that matches? Like you have to think like, does the one go with the number one? Does the two go with the number two? Like objective, like color matching. Does red go with red? Blue go with blue? It's really kind of like looking at it from a simplistic basis and seeing if it matches. And that's the difference between subjective and objective, in my opinion. It's just the details. Subjective is the details. Objective is just the outside. So this is a big one. So if we go to the next one, we're going to get into solutions. So the professional solution is honestly just that. It's professional quality intros, outros, and snippets that instantly give your content polished, binge-worthy feel. So that's what you want. And the benefit of getting polished music or professionally made music is that it's instant recognition. It's your signature sound. Custom music becomes your audio logo. Your audience recognizes your content instantly, even when they're not looking at the screen. Even when they're not looking at the screen. So your brand recall is going to be literally 3 times higher with consistent audio branding. And I could just give you a couple of examples. When you watch Netflix, need I say more? You guys say more. When you watch that, you instantly know you about to get into something. When that end pop up, and that that ta-da, whatever that is, I don't want to say it because I don't want to sound like I made it, but that's instantly recognizable. The same thing when you watch specific commercials and it has like something that you recognize. McDonald's, for instance, you already know they went through several changes, but the most recent one that stuck the most is the that one. So just think about it. It's like that's instantly recognizable. It just pushes their brand forward. So you want something like that, and the only way to do that is that you have to go into getting professional or custom music. You have to go deep into your brand and get someone that can do that. That way it's custom audio branding. So the benefit to that again is time freedom. If you have somebody that you trust doing that, you can easily get back into what you're doing. You can get your life back. No more music hunting, no more marathons, no more editing sessions. Just plug in professional tracks and focus on what you do best, creating incredible content. You're literally saving like 10 hours a week doing that. So the pro benefit of that is literally your time and your freedom. So, you know what I'm saying? You get your life back. So let me escape out of full screen so I can, I was over here. Okay. All right. And then let's see. So no comments. All right. So the next one is the authority amplification. Now, this is what the good one. This is like literally instant credibility. So when someone recognizes your sound and recognizes what you're doing, it's basically like instant credibility. You're literally going to recognize, they're literally going to recognize you within 10 seconds and feel comfortable. Oh, I know what this is. And you're not only that, professional audio quality subconsciously tells your audience that you're serious and established. So even if people aren't your audience, they know that you're serious. And when they know that you're serious, it's credibility. Whether they tune in or not, they're going to tell somebody else, oh, so-and-so is the real deal if you want to do that. So representing yourself seriously could be really dope for your brand. And from a marketing standpoint, being recognized as an authority in what you're doing is very important. So with that, we go to the next one. So before and after. So we talked about the DIY struggle. Essentially, it's just you wasting hours searching. You edit in timeless, like you edit in to no end, and you getting drawn in with a spiral, inconsistent branding. You got this that sounds louder, or you got this that sounds the soft. It's not at the quality sound. You got constant frustration because you literally worried about the music. You know what I'm saying? So now after, when you get that professional edge and you got that polish and you got somebody that's working with you and you taking that investment, not only is an investment going to come back to you in your time, but it's quality of your content. You got instant brand recognition. You got plug and play simplicity. You got signature sound identity. You got premium quality feel. And you got focus on content creation. You're literally able to do so much more with your content after. So, so if you want to talk about it, or leave some comments, or you want to share your experience, let me know. If anybody has questions or anything, We are at our 30-minute mark. So if anybody doesn't have any questions or insights, I'm going to just simply go over what we're going to do the rest of the week. Going to go over what we're going to do the rest of the week. So the next step is just stop wasting time on DIY. It's time to invest in your signature sound and get back to what you do best. Your signature sound is waiting. And I say that to say, I am doing a special live Saturday. For those of you that are still tuned in, I'm doing a very special live Saturday. Saturday, I'm going to be going over how to make that move. I'm going to be going over ways to find quality audio. I'm going to be going over ways that you can benefit from quality sound. And I'm also going to be going over ways that you can get customization in your creative platform, whatever you're doing. I really urge you guys to tune in Saturday because I have something very special for my creators. Very special for my creators. I have an offer that I'm going to present to my creators that will have me assisting you with what you want to do. And it's going to be a rarity on my end, which is why you guys got to tune in Saturday. So if you want that from me, if you want an opportunity for me to assist you, if you want an opportunity to possibly have professional sound at your fingertips and willing to get things done quicker, faster, I really strongly suggest you guys stay tuned tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be really beneficial for you. We are going to go live tomorrow at 7:00 p.m. like we did today. I really hope to see you guys live. I'm going to be showcasing some of my music. We're going to be talking about professional music and how it can help. We're going to be doing all that. And then I'm going to let you guys know what I have in store for you. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm glad you came aboard. Have a good night and be blessed. And I will see you guys tomorrow, 7:00, Saturday, September 20th. All right, let's go.